everyone, it's SteveManK1987, ready for another episode of Card Sharks, and this time I currently have two Skype guests in the forms of my champion, Rodney1279, with $30,500, and he has elected to take on my other Skype guest, and that's SteveManK1987.
Good evening, everybody, and good luck, Steve.
Thank you. Good luck to you too.
It's been a while since I've had Steve on here, but hopefully he hasn't lost his touch. But anyways, the first question, and you both know how to play, so good luck to you both. And first question always goes to the champion, and that is Mr. Rodney. Rodney, are you set?
I'm ready to go.
Steve, what about you? Are you set?
I'm ready.
Okay. And as I said, first question goes to the champion, and that's Rodney. Rodney, we asked 100 single women, have you turned down a marriage proposal? How many of these single women said yes, they have turned down a marriage proposal?
Well, I believe a lot of single women turn down marriage proposals because, they may have their doubts about marriage, and the other reasons is they might fear commitment also. So I think that might be a little bit of a high number. I'm going to say 60.
60 of 100 single women said they've turned down a marriage proposal. Steve, do you think that's higher or lower than 60?
No, I definitely agree with what Rodney said. So I'm going to say it's a little bit higher.
Okay, he is saying it is a little bit higher, and Rodney, if it is lower, is 60 or lower, you will play yours. Steve, if it is higher than 60, you will play your cards. And the actual number of these married single women who turned down a marriage proposal is 73. It is higher. Steve, you were right in the matter.
Good job, Steve.
And let's hope that Steve will have something going for him. And Steve, your card is a 4.
I'll go higher.
Okay. Higher than a 4, it's a 10. Go higher, lower, or freeze. What's that?
Freeze.
Okay, he's freezing on the 10, not giving Rodney a chance at the cards. But Steve, the second question is yours.
Okay.
Steve, we found 100 men in the U.S. Marines, and we asked them, would you feel uncomfortable dating a taller woman? How many of these men said they would feel uncomfortable dating a woman taller than him?
Not too sure, so I'm going to say about 31.
31?
Yes.
Okay. Want to be sure I got that right. 31 of 100 men in the Marines said they would feel uncomfortable dating a taller woman. Rodney, higher or lower than 31?
Well, I think most men like women who are shorter than them, and they like to look down on them just because, that's how it probably should be. I think that number is going to be a little bit higher.
A little bit higher. The actual number of these U.S. men in the U.S. Marines said they would be uncomfortable dating a taller woman is 37. It is a little higher. How tall is too tall? Rodney, your card is a jack.
Right. Lower than a jack.
He says lower than a jack. It's a 5.
Higher than 5.
Higher than a 5. A king. Lower than a king, a 9.
I'm a freeze right there.
Freezing on the 9, not giving Steve a chance at the cards. And the next question goes to you, Rodney. Rodney, we found 100 motorcycle club members in New York City, and we asked them, would you be willing to live in a house in the suburbs with a loving wife and kids? How many of these motorcycle club members said they would be willing to live in a house in the suburbs with a loving wife and kids?
I think any motorcycler or any person So I think that's going to be a very high number. I'm going to go with 64.
64 of 100 New York City Motorcycle Club members said they would be willing to live in a house in the suburbs with a loving wife and kids. Steve, higher or lower than 64?
I'm going to say a little bit higher.
A little bit higher. The actual number of these motorcycle club members will be willing to live in a house in the suburbs is 46. It is lower, not higher.
Wow.
And Rodney, you have your 9.
Let's change the card.
Alright, when you win the question, you can change the base card. And the 9 is now a jack.
Lower.
For the first game of the match, lower. Oh no, an ace. Oh boy. Steve, a break for you, but you have to play your 10 because you did not win the question.
Let's go lower.
Lower than a 10, a 5.
I'm going to freeze.
Alright, freezing on the 5. This is the fourth and final question. Someone must win on this play of the cards. And that question goes to Steve. Oh boy, this is a cold one. Steve, we asked 100 married women, does your husband take you for granted? How many of these married women said yes, their husband does take her for granted?
Well, I'm going to say 75.
Oh boy, 75 of 100 married women said their husband takes her for granted. Rodney, higher or lower than 75?
Well, I think if married men took their, what's the question again?
We asked 100 married women, does your husband take you for granted? How many of them said yes?
Okay. Well, if the husband takes the woman for granted, I don't think he deserves her. So, in my opinion, it's much lower.
He says it is much lower, he says. The actual number of these married women who said their husband takes her for granted is 54. It is lower. Alright, Rodney, this is sudden death. You have a base card of a jack. You need 1 card for game 1. Steve with a base card of a 5 needs 2 cards for the first game. But you won the question, so you can change the jack if you wish to, or you can play it, or you can pass it to Steve and he'll have to play off his 5. What's it going to be?
I'm going to go lower.
Okay, he is going to take the jack, and he's going to take the play of the cards, and he says lower than a jack for game 1. It's an 8, 7 plus 1, and Rodney wins game 1. And Steve, this is make or break for you.
Okay.
We're going to go to round number 2. We're going to deal out the cards. And this first question goes to Rodney for round 2. And Rodney, this is an educated guess question. Using a milking machine, how many minutes does it take to get a quart of milk from a cow? Rodney says that it takes 10 minutes to get a quart of milk from a cow. Steve, higher or lower than 10 minutes?
I'm going to say a little bit lower.
A little bit lower. And the actual number is 1. It is lower. Only 1 whole minute. Steve, your card is a queen.
Lower.
Okay. Lower than a queen. Oh no, an ace. Oh, you would have been sitting pretty. Rodney, you have to play your card. It is a 10.
Lower.
Lower than a 10? Oh no, a jack. So Steve, you caught a break there. This is your next question. And it goes to you, Steve. Okay, this is an interesting one. Steve, we asked 100 married men. Is it, in a marriage, is it the man's role to make all the really big decisions? How many of these married men said, yes, it is the man's role to make all the really big decisions in a marriage?
I'm going to say... I'm going to say 65.
6'5"?
Yes.
Okay, 65 of 100 married men said it is the man's role in a marriage to make all the really big decisions. Rodney, higher or lower than 65?
I agree with Steve's guess. I'm going to go on the limb and say a little lower.
Going lower.
A little lower, excuse me.
Okay, and just before I click lower, Rodney, is it your role in your marriage?
We share the role.
What's that?
We share the role.
Oh, you share the role, okay. So
Yeah,
he's
share.
okay. Anyways, the actual number of married men who said it is the man's role is 52. It is lower. And Rodney, you have your 10.
I'd like to change that 10.
Changing that 10. Can we make a good change here? The 10 is now a 6.
Woo. I'm going higher.
Higher than a 6? An 8. 7 plus 1.
3.
Freezing on the 8, not giving Steve a chance at the cards. Phone is ringing, but my grandma will get that. And Rodney, next question is to you. Rodney, we asked 100 married women, did you cry at your own wedding? How many of these married men said yes, they did cry at their own wedding?
Women, right?
Yes, married women.
I think that's a high number because emotional moment. My wife cried when we were getting married. So that's a good high number. I'm going to say it's 70.
70 of 100 married women said they cried at their own wedding. Steve, higher or lower than 70? 7-0.
I'm going to say just a little bit higher.
A little bit higher. The actual number of these married women who said they cried at their own wedding is 21. It is lower, not higher.
Wow.
Really?
Apparently so. Rodney, you have your 8. 7 plus 1.
Let's change to 8.
Changing that 8, and I don't blame him for doing that. The card is another 6.
Those 6s love me. I'm going to go higher.
Higher than a 6? Oh no, a 5. Steve, a break for you, but you have to play your queen.
Let's go lower.
Lower than a queen, a 9.
Lower.
Ooh, taking a chance. Lower than a 9? Oh no, a king. This is the fourth and final question. Someone must win on this play of the cards. And Steve, that question is yours. So this is a very important question. So control is going to be very important. Steve, we asked 100 women shopping in a supermarket, and we asked them, do you usually check the date on milk before you buy it? How many of these women said they do usually check the date on milk before buying it?
Well, we do grocery shopping in our house, and we do check the date on the milk a lot of times. So, I'm going to say 63.
63 of 100 women shopping in a supermarket said they usually check the date on milk before they buy it. Rodney, higher or lower than 63?
That's a good guess, Steve. I'm going to go a little higher.
A little higher. The actual number of these women who said they usually check the date before buying milk is 80. It is much higher. Okay, this is important here. Rodney, you won the question, so you can change your 6 or play it, and you need 3 cards for the championship. Steve, with a base card of a queen, needs all 4 cards, and Steve needs this game to stay alive.
Are you having pizza or what? I was meeting today.
I'm going to give it to Steve.
Alright, he's going to pass to Steve, and Steve, this is,
Order no.
round table? Or no, sorry guys, Steve, Rodney passed off the control to you, so you have to play your queen.
Let's go lower.
Lower than a queen, an 8. 7 plus 1. What's that?
Lower.
Lower than an 8? Oh no, a 10, and Rodney retains his championship. And as I watch at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, November 14, 2012, Rodney goes on to play the money cards again. Steve will bring you back for another episode. So Rodney goes to the money cards for a 4th time. And it's now time for the money cards. Rodney will start you at the bottom row with $3 of betting money. Bet your way across 3 cards. Second row gets $700 more of betting money. And you bet your way across another 3 cards. So you get to the big bet. You must bet at least half the money. So you could win $49,600. And just for making it to the money cards, you get a joker. And we're starting you with $300. Last time, you did pretty well, despite the fact that the cards you got were not so nice. But anyways, Rodney, for $300, and a reminder, you can change the base card 1 time per line, and $50 the minimum bet. And if the same card comes up, it's a push, meaning you do not win, and you don't lose. For $300, Rodney, you start off with a jack. How much, and higher or lower?
Okay. $250 lower.
Alright, he is saying $250 lower than a jack. It's a 9. $550 and a 9.
I want to change the 9 with number 3.
Alright, let's see if we can make a good change here. The 9 is now a king.
Alright. I'm going to go $500 lower.
He's holding back on this. He's saying, did you say 500?
That's correct.
Okay, he's saying $500 lower than a king.
No.
Oh no, an ace. Oh wow, only 4 cards that could have beaten it, and one of them came up. Rodney, you're down to $50.
All of it lower.
Can't lose. Lower. It's a king. You are up to $100. Moving to the second row, giving you another $700 of betting money. You now have $800 and a king.
All of it lower.
8. Double or nothing. $800. Lower than a king. It's a deuce. $1,600 and a deuce.
All of it higher.
Can't lose. $1,600. Higher. It's a joker. You know, 2 chances at a $20,000 jackpot. We'll replace the card.
Same bet. Higher.
Okay. $1,600. Higher than a deuce. It's a 4. $3,200 and a 4.
Okay, I got $3,200.
You do. $3,200.
Alright. $2,200 higher.
Okay, he's saying $2,200. Higher than a 4. It's a 7. Rodney, you're at the big bet. You have $5,400. You must bet at least $2,700. Do you want that 7?
No way. I'm going to go with number 1.
Alright, let's see if we can make a good change for the big bet. It's an ace!
Oh my God. All of it lower.
Come on, for $10,800. Lower than an ace. It's a joker. You now have 3 chances at the jackpot. We'll replace the card.
Same bet lower.
Nothing, or $10,800. Lower than an ace. It's a 6. Rodney, you have $10,800 more. You are now up to $41,500. But you aren't done yet. Rodney, you have 3 chances to find the card with the $sign, and you'll be $20,000 richer.
I like to start with number 6.
Well, he tried it last time. It did not work then. And unfortunately, it didn't work this time.
Okay. I'm going to try number 5.
Well, that was where it was last time. But no luck this time. Unfortunately, Rodney, you were not able to find it you were not able to find the jackpot in either one of the first two options, so unfortunately you can't get an extra $5 grand. But let's hope you can get that 20 grand jackpot.
Okay. I'm going to hope that it's in number 4.
Okay. This is his last chance. Is the $ behind 4? No. Ah, you should have said 7. You were nibbling around those edges.
Oh, okay.
So our jackpot will be worth $30,000 next time, and Rodney will take on another opponent until he loses. But with $41,500, I don't think Rodney's too upset.
No.
Thought not. So we'll see you all for the next episode.